So how do you look back now, say on West End Girls? Because the real international hit was not the first mix, it was the second mix.
Well, it was a new version. We originally recorded West End Girls in 1984 in New York. In 1983 actually in New York. It was released in 1984. And it wasn't a hit, but it got a bit of radio play and it got a lot of interest all around the world. It was astonishing. And then, so when we signed to EMI a year later, we decided to re-record it, and that was the version that became a hit. And it's quite interesting, because in its way it was a groundbreaking record. People, as it's the Pet Shop Boys, people never think of it like this, but it was meant to be a rap record. And if you listen to it, all the verses are rapped and the choruses are sung. And it was the first ever rap #1 in America, which is, I think people think of, maybe don't think of that as a rap record, but because I do it in an English accent, not an American accent, but that was the intention. It was kind of inspired by the record The Message by Grandmaster Flash. Well, amazingly, it does amaze us. It's 15 years since our first album was released, it's just called Please. And we were just thinking that it would be nice to bring we've always recorded with an album, we've always done a lot of mixes, recorded B-sides, written songs for other people. We just thought it would be nice to reissue the albums, remaster them, which means that you just make them sound better. It's a kind of electronic processing, which you do when you finish a record, you master it. And mastering techniques have improved so much, you can actually just make it sound better and louder. It's not any kind of remixing, it just makes it sound better. The quality of the sound is improved. Particularly in the 80s albums, it's improved drastically, I think, and it's really good to do that. It makes me all sound fresh and new again. And also, we've always done a lot of other tracks around an album, and so with each album you get a bonus album with basically master tracks that were either released as B-sides, occasionally weren't released. There were mixes we did of our own songs. And it's interesting to see, with each double album you get all the music that was made in one period of time. Like with Please, you get all the music we made between 1984 and 1986. And the new bonus albums that go with them are they're really good, actually. And there's things, I mean, absolute mega fans will have nearly everything, because if you've got, if you collected every single and every weird mix and stuff, you'd probably have them. But I think for most people who just suddenly think, I've never bought the Pet Shop Boys album with It's a Sin on it, which is called Actually, you go and it's got this other album, which is great as well. You get the 12-inch mix of It's a Sin that we did. But it's all our mixes of things. It's not like Dave Morales and Chet Pettibone's mixes. It's all our stuff. I think a lot of our melody lines are quite subtle. When we recorded with Tina Turner, we wrote the song for Confidential, the demo of which appears on one of the other bonus albums. And she said, God, you've got to play that melody for me on a keyboard, because the way she couldn't get it from the way I sang it, because it's quite a subtle melody.
So there's Dusty, there's Tina Turner, and of course Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, there's a demo, we put the demo that we did for a song called So Sorry I Said, and also the version of Losing My Mind, which we originally did with her. That's on there as well.
So what?
And there's a demo we did for Kylie as well. We only work with women who've got one name: Dusty, Liza, Kylie, Tina.
Eighth Wonder, J'ai Pas Peur.
Well, no. Patsy,
that's two. Patsy
yes.
Kensit.
Yes.
That's a great song.
I love that song. We recorded it ourselves anyway. It was on our album Introspective. And it's got a kind of French feel. Our version of it, we kind of almost get a physical setting. We had samples from the whole 1968 kind of. It wasn't really a revolution, but sort of uprising there was in Paris. We put all these samples of that to give it this very kind of revolutionary feel.
So you've been here for 15 years, Neil. What's next?
What's next is our musical, of course, Close to Heaven, which is just opening as we speak. And Chris and I are about to tour America in the summer. And then next year, the early part of next year, we have a new album coming out, which is a really new style of music for us. It's almost more of a rock style. I think people think of us as doing dance music. We've done a lot of dance music. And also people sometimes I think of us as doing sort of camp stuff like Go West or whatever. This is a very, very beautiful melodic series of songs. I think my favourite song is still Being Boring, because I think it's a funny title. It's got all the ingredients for a Pet Shop Boys song. It's got a sort of funny title that no one else would have done a song about being boring. And it's a very beautiful song. It sounds really beautiful. It's autobiographical. I think, and I love the production of it. I don't think anyone else would have made that record. For me, life started at 30, because when we had our first hit I was 31, which is quite old. And it's certainly progressing very well in my 40s.